All right, so now being 6 o'clock, I'll call the May 21st meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. The first item on our agenda is to reorganize. So I'll make a motion that we appoint John Trainer as chairman of the Board of Selectmen.
Thank you.
Do we have a second? All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Now, what do you want to do with clerk? You want me to be clerk now, or you want to continue as clerk?
Why don't you be vice chair,
Okay,
and I'll be clerk again,
all right.
if that's all right.
All right, so I'll make a
Sounds good to
motion
me.
that we appoint Mark as clerk. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then I'll serve as vice chair.
Okay,
All right, do we
great.
have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right, so
Thank you.
I'll turn things over.
Look at the crowd.
Oh, you know what I didn't say?
Oh. So I can say it.
You could say it.
This meeting is being recorded for cablecast and YouTube presentation by Area 58 Community Access Media. The video of this meeting is not to be considered an official public record. Okay, first on our next agenda item is electric aggregation renewal.
Already. So we did this 6 months ago, our first time, and there were fairly attractive rates. The aggregator called the meeting last week and presented the new rates. They're considerably higher than previously. What was available and what they recommend, I can maybe give you this rate sheet here. You can see up in the farthest column to the right, the basic rate for the rest of the year for N-Star, and there are very few of the rates available that are lower than that. They're slightly lower. What they are quite clear on, the aggregator, is that next winter the rates are going to go sky high, and so they are comfortable suggesting that we take one of these aggregator rates, either the 30-month or the 36-month. My inclination would be to go for the 30-month just because everything is so volatile along the way. That would offer mild or very modest savings for the next 6 months, but they're extremely certain that it would be significant savings in the next 6 months over the winter. Sort of the underlying headline in all of this is rates are going to be high and they're going to stay high. The nice thing about this is people will opt in automatically. They can opt out at any point if there were some significant change on what they're predicting. The other piece in it, and I want to check on this again tomorrow when we meet again, last time we offered the opportunity for a 100% green product. None of the rates that are being offered right now look attractive on that.
No.
So the suggestion of the aggregator and the thing that I feel comfortable with was either the 30-month or the 36-month, and from the public power column, my recommendation based on theirs would be that we choose the 30-month rate.
But the 36, you expected to go up, right? Why would we want to do 30 months?
Only because that's far enough out that it's really hard to see that far ahead, and what might come up along the way. He was also fine with the 36 as well. So
I don't have a strong feeling either way, but it doesn't sound like
I mean, frankly,
going
the
down.
nice thing is
No, it doesn't.
if we do it, then we don't have to be making these decisions every 6 months.
Yeah.
This whole thing is just kind of amazing in a way, that rates are so high and there are all these options. I mean, it's like futures market. You know?
Yeah, that's
I
basically
mean, it
what
really
it is.
exactly
Right.
a futures market.
Yeah.
you know.
Do we have to do anything in terms of notifying people, or do they take care of that?
They take care of that again, as they did last time, and I think once we're settled on this, we'll do something, maybe a newspaper article again, just to continue the education process.
I think we should have something on our Facebook page, too.
Okay.
But it should be less legalese, so not necessarily theirs.
Right.
I'm glad to work on that once this is set up.
Okay.
So, Mark, once we decide on one of these, will they inform the people that opted out last time that they have the option to opt back in now?
Yeah, I will confirm that tomorrow.
Okay.
But I expect the whole process is done the same as last time.
Well, I think the issue last time was the return envelope had like a California address,
Yeah.
and I think people
Yeah.
threw it out as
Right.
junk mail. They didn't know what it was,
Right.
or didn't really take it seriously, because we get these things all the time.
Exactly.
We do, and it is a big challenge to discern what is legitimate and what isn't, and we'll just have to work on good education.
Right, and us knowing that this time, we can do a better job of
Yep.
letting people know
Yeah.
that this is legit, and, yeah.
We can put that on the Facebook page, too, that if people want to opt in, it's still available.
Or in this case, they'll be opting out, I believe. I think they're automatically in
They're
unless
in.
they opt out.
Right.
No, I'm talking about the people who opted out,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
so they still have the opportunity to come back in if they want.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
One can opt in and out
I'm
at
sorry,
any...
I was just doing
No.
something for over there.
No
Sure.
worries.
And I just gotta grab my laptop out of my
Okay.
car.
So, are we comfortable with the 30-month?
Sure. I mean, it's,
Okay, so 30 months would get us to when? That sounds like a fall.
It'd be 6 months from now, so yeah, that would be in the autumn, 2.5 years from now.
Is that a bad time to be going out?
I don't think it matters.
Okay. Okay,
okay.
all right,
So
so,
do we need a motion?
yes.
I think we do. So I make a motion, we select the 30-month public power rate of 0.11274.
All right,
Second?
And,
Did you say 0.11274?
yes,
Thank you.
all right.
All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
great.
And I believe we have a meeting tomorrow, and this is pretty volatile, and maybe it'll change by then, but I think we're on
The
target.
30 months.
Perfect.
Okay, we have an appointment for police department? That's probably in...
Probably in
in-
correspondence.
yeah.
Oh, police department? Let's see. Yeah.
Is there one there?
Let's see if that's in here. I don't see it in
Is
here.
it
All
with
right.
Liz's thing?
Yeah, we'll wait until Liz comes back in then. I have this application for use of town property we can discuss in the meantime. We were approached, as I mentioned earlier, by Maureen Velez, who is getting married Thursday, and would like to use the gazebo on the town green at noontime. They indicated there'd be 6 people, 3 vehicles, and sounds like a great opportunity.
It does.
So I'll make a motion that we allow Maureen Velez and her fiancé to use the gazebo on the town green on Thursday at 12 o'clock for a wedding.
Okay. All right.
Second?
Do you want it contingent on any of those other, approval of the other departments? I mean, the only one it would be the chief, really, right?
Yeah,
Okay. All
he's
right.
not here.
No, he's not. All right, I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we wish the happy couple much continued happiness.
Starting their life together in the gazebo in Plympton. Very exciting. Are they local?
She is from Halifax, and I'm not sure where he's from.
So when
See,
they
if Halifax had a gazebo, they could have done it there, but
when they redo their vows 30 years from now, we'll have a rebuilt gazebo, rebuilt from CPA funds.
30 years from now?
Well, when they renew their vows. Well, it might take 30 years, never know.
Would you let her know?
Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
that's what I.
We couldn't find the appointment slip for Matthew All.
Police,
Did we do one?
Yeah, there should have been one in there for
There was
the-
nothing in the correspondence
No,
folder.
yeah, Mark looked.
Where is the,
There's no letter from the chief for it either in the correspondence folder, but I saw he gave one. Is it maybe
because
still at your
somebody that
office?
was resigning too.
Yeah, Dan Alex was, is, I
Yes.
think,
That's, none of that's in it?
no, not in here. So it must be somewhere at your office, because I know I saw it.
I know, because it was all attached to it.
can you take a quick look, Bridget,
Yes.
so we can, because we're not going to be meeting for 2 Mondays, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then do you want to, yeah, just, we can
Do
move
you want
on
to
to
make a
Liz.
motion and we'll sign it after, or?
Can we do approval?
You
and
could do the
with-
motion now, and then we could just,
Okay.
yeah, even if you have to run and type one, maybe during the,
It's already done.
Because it's just for 1 year, and it would be as a police officer.
correct.
Okay.
So why don't we just make a motion?
Okay.
then?
Okay.
All right, let's get it done. All right, I'll make a motion, we appoint Matthew All as a police officer on the Plympton Police Department, effective today. Is that acceptable, today's date?
And it will go to the 30th.
Until
6:30 and then
6:30
yes.
of 2018.
Yes.
And can we then make an appointment for him beyond that, or will we get a
I thought the
notice then?
chief's letter said through 19, right?
Well, he'll get it done, and then they all get sworn
Then we
in
do all of
again.
them again. Okay,
Sorry,
Okay,
that's all
I'll
the
second that.
appointments.
okay.
All
So do we
those
have
in
a-
favor?
All those in favor?
Aye, all right.
This is new to me.
I know, you were, like at town meeting, you were on fire. Second.
Wanted to beat you.
I thought I was going to get one in somewhere. along.
I think
second.
I made the motion and John seconded it.
Oh, well.
So now you, okay.
So correspondence.
Yes, okay, so correspondence. We have again the letter from the Plympton Fire Department requesting to declare the water buffalo and the Bauer air compressor as surplus items. And Chief Benjamino did look over that request and found everything to be in order, so he's
Okay.
requesting that
Okay.
as well. So if you want to do that in the
So make a
form of-
motion that we declare
those
surplus, which is it, the water buffalo
Water
and
buffalo and Bauer air compressor.
the Bauer air compressor.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So what happens now? Do they
Then we
donate
have to,
that?
well, we have to figure out the worth first, and
Okay.
then that'll dictate
There is
the
a site that gets
process.
posted on, I believe. You know, that you
Yes.
can put surplus equipment on for the
Correct.
state.
Okay.
Correct, it
Yeah.
depends on what it's worth, and that'll sort of
Yeah.
dictate the
Determine,
process
okay.
in either direction.
Perfect.
We have a notice from Columbia Gas regarding an increase in their distribution rates, and they're just asking all the cities and towns if they could post this notice in a public spot. So I was thinking that we could give it to Tara and maybe put it up on the bulletin board in case the public has questions.
Perfect.
We also have Plympton Halifax Express. It made note of John Shea of John and Son Barber Shop in Halifax celebrating 50 years.
It's a
Nice
good note.
article.
That was a nice article.
My brother-in-law.
Right, exactly.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
We had Mother's Day tea at the Plympton Congregational Church, some great pictures in here from that event, and more tales of old Plympton. So it was
It's good.
very nice newspaper. As far as my updates, the highway superintendent position is still open. It's open through this Thursday, May 24th. We have 4 applicants so far, 2 from inside, 2 from outside. Old Colony Planning Council is still going to be looking for some feedback on the comprehensive permit thing. I'll send it back out again. I think I
Thank you.
mentioned doing that after the last meeting and then got caught up in some of these other items. But we can plan to do that maybe for the June 4th meeting. Just
Okay,
if you
sure.
have any feedback by roughly that time frame, that
Sounds
would be
good.
good. And then I would turn it over to Bree. I think she wanted to give a Memorial Day Parade update.
Great.
I also have one more thing for Columbia Gas that came in late, and Jim wanted to approve it first, and it's for 220 Main Street to install a new gas service. And he okayed this, so I need a little motion now.
So a motion,
Okay. For 220 Main Street for gas install.
Okay, so I'll make a motion
Okay.
to approve an install of a new gas service at 220 Main Street as approved by the highway surveyor.
Yes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I just have
Do I
one
have to sign
question
it?
before the
No, I'll
parade
send out a letter that you approved
information.
it on today.
Great.
Liz has got a question.
I was thinking that it might make sense if we sent something to the Middleborough Town Manager and the Middleborough Board of Selectmen, thanking them for being amenable to this arrangement to allow
Great
Chief Lance
idea.
Benjamino
That is a great
the
idea.
Great
ability
idea.
to help us
Yeah.
out for a while
Yeah.
and kind of work on some of the things that he's been working on. I think that his presence has been very effective, and
Why don't all
perhaps a
four of
formal
us sign
thank
it?
you.
Perfect, great
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll draft that up, and then we can
Great.
get that out for signature.
super.
And you're sending it to Middleborough?
Yep.
I also have one more other thing. The Lynch and Marini Associates that came in. Barbara has signed it. For the
What's it for?
services provided to the town of Plympton. That's the funny article. people.
Oh, this is the account?
The auditors, yeah.
Okay. Is this the yearly bill? Or is this,
Or is this just a contract?
That's the contract to-
oh, this is the contract, it's boilerplate. I haven't read it, but,
Barbara signed it, I'm sure she
all right.
read it.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the contract between Lynch, Marini and Associates, Inc. and the town of Plympton for the year through
Next 2000.
June to, this
July
is
1st.
June 30, 2018. So I guess it's just for the audit,
For this fiscal year,
yeah.
right?
The audit
Okay.
is, yes.
Okay.
To release the audit information.
Oh, to
Okay.
release the audit information, that's what this
That's
is? Okay.
Okay. So I'll revise the motion.
Okay.
That we approve this between Lynch, Marini and Associates and the town of Plympton to release the audit comments for the year ended June 30th, 2018.
All right, I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can we go back to reorganization for a
Sure.
minute? Bree, don't you each year send to surrounding towns a note that we have, the board has reorganized?
Yes. So I'll send a letter, but we got a couple today
Yeah?
from some surrounding towns. Halifax sent us, were they in correspondence, Liz?
No,
I'm
they
sorry?
weren't. There was very little in correspondence.
The letters of the reorg for the different towns?
I
had a
don't
couple
know
in
that
there.
I saw those in there, no. But they're all doing that.
Oh.
Everybody
Okay, so,
does it
but
at
you're
this
going to
time.
take care of sending
Yes.
out the notes. Okay.
And John is chair.
John is chair, Mark is clerk, and I'm vice chair.
Charge your vice.
Self-appointed.
Who made all the motions?
I think I did, actually.
And let me guess, John was second.
John seconded.
No, I seconded the one that
The chairman.
nominated John
Is
as
chairman,
chair.
that's right.
The rest were John.
Yeah.
Yeah, then John did the rest.
What else do we have? Anything on our plate right now?
No, Bree needs to do, is going to give us something on Memorial
Yes,
Day?
So some Memorial Day things. It's coming along. So we,
Oh, and we've got minutes.
Do we have an agenda?
yes, the essays.
You just sent those out, yep.
Essays. So those came today. We still don't have the students' names. I won't know until Wednesday morning. So we're gonna print out the programs here. And he's gonna have, Steve Lyons works at the,
Okay.
Is there any reason we
the
shouldn't
jail,
do
so he was gonna be sending them up.
the same thing we did last year? You speak in...
Pledge?
Whatever you did last year, I'll do what I did last year the same day.
Yeah, I think I
We
did
had
the
the same
pledge.
program lineup for all of you. Mark
Yeah.
was gonna do the moment of silence. Christine, you do the pledge of
I did the
allegiance.
pledge, yeah.
You
I do the
introduce.
Field of Flanders and
Yeah,
So one of us, though, the thing we sort of stumble on each year is who is sort of the MC
Right.
and introducing the next thing along the
and
way.
I'm suggesting, Christine, should you do a good job?
okay. All right, I was, yeah.
And then the
You or-
final thought.
Okay.
Will you still do the final thought at the end?
No, how about we have Mark do the final thought at the end? Or John, either one of them.
Let John do it. I'll do the silence thing. My speech will be in introducing silence.
Who will open them? You'll open, Christine?
I can open,
Yes.
yeah.
I would like it if, when you do open, to announce the behind the church, and that also the Historical Society will be having an event, an open house after the
Absolutely.
parade and the ceremonies. We will also have the touch-a truck. There will also be, before the parade, we had somebody volunteer who's gonna be doing s'more cup samples. So the kids will be able to have a special little treat around. There'll be refreshments and desserts at the Historical Society as well.
Okay, yep, just write it all down for me.
Yeah, you're going to write this all out, so.
Okay.
we
So
can-
we'll
And-
have a few new things added.
And we were going to
And we would
recognize
be-
the Eagle
And
Scouts
we're going to
projects.
Yes, so there'll be a lot going on.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have no rain.
Okay,
Also, resentment.
So we're not
Okay.
going to see each other until then.
right.
I will get the programs out to you.
We
I
probably
can't-
should meet, what, a half an hour before or something? Well,
Can-
no, we walk
We
down
usually,
anyways.
right, we walk
You're
down and kind of get
9:30 down
organized.
at the Historical
What time?
Society. 9:30 is the
Okay.
lineup. The parade will start at 10.
But we do need to vote on the essays and get that squared away right away.
You want to do that now, or you haven't had time?
I haven't seen them, I
Um,
haven't read them, actually.
Okay, it was-
I'll have read them by 8 AM tomorrow.
So we'll just send it
If
by
you can
email.
just
By
email
email,
and
to
let me
vote.
know.
Okay.
It's been a little crazy trying to
Perfect.
get the lineup,
Okay,
so I have a few other things for you guys.
and then who do you have singing the national anthem?
There's going to be a group of singers.
Wow.
Oh, how exciting.
So we have a few students that are going to sing.
Okay,
The school just hasn't given me all the information. I have the singers' names, but I do not have.
from the Dennett?
Mhm.
Okay.
From the Dennett.
Oh, nice.
Next year we'll have the band,
Okay,
so.
perfect, sounds
Great.
great.
So you'll introduce each thing as
I'll,
they come.
I'll stay up front and introduce, because that's, yeah, seems to be like our
Uh,
weaknesses.
Yeah.
We have our
Who's
post-cane
next? Who's-
recipient-
Yeah.
Our post-cane recipient. And the
Terrific,
kids did a great job this weekend sprucing up the town green.
Okay.
And the Historical Society is next. That'll be done this weekend,
okay, very nice.
before the parade.
We have a very nice sign at the Historical Society now.
Really? Oh, I'll drive by.
Slow down
it,
when you got-
I
yeah.
will, I'll drive by tonight.
Yep.
We got new wreaths. Those were just delivered right now.
Nice, very good.
We'll have the Eagle Scouts, we'll put those out.
Are we doing rants before?
Yeah, before we do
Or
that, a future, though, we need to talk about project management of this, the Historical Society.
Mhm.
You know, who's going to lead it, et cetera, so,
Maybe we
June
need
4th.
that on the agenda in 2 weeks?
yeah, June 4th.
Perfect.
On the agenda, would you put, we'll do a discussion of the project management of the renovation of the Plympton Historical Society?
Old Town House.
Old
I'm sorry,
Town,
Old
yeah.
Townhouse, right.
And then maybe we get caught up with minutes, too.
Yes, please. How's that name?
Hmm?
The name, the Old Town Hall.
That's what it is.
I know. Plimpton's Old Town Hall? They still call it.
So we have got Vicky coming in at 6:30,
Mhm.
and then we have, well, Griffin at 6:30,
6:30.
and then Vicky
At 6:45.
at 6:45. Okay,
Will you be
perfect.
deciding that for the nomination of the animal inspector then?
Yes,
Because I have that paperwork.
perfect.
Can you do,
I don't know if we'll be
Not be
making a
making a
decision
decision
tonight, but we're
tonight.
interviewing the candidates
okay,
tonight.
so I can put this on for next,
Yeah, why don't you put it on for June 4th?
Right.
So were we going to go back into executive session before or after the meeting?
We should
with them?
probably go back into it before, just to discuss a few particulars about the position, and then we can go back to open for the interviews.
So we're going to go back into executive session. Need a motion to,
I make a motion to go back into executive session for purpose number 2.
All right, I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
and you have to roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Mr. Russo?
Aye.
Yes.
Mrs. Joy?
Yes.
Mr. Trendy, yes. So we've exited executive session, we're back in open session, and we're talking to Mr. Griffin Webb about the animal control officer's position. Maybe, Griffin, you want to give us an overview of what you think it is? Make sure.
Absolutely. To me, this is going to be more than a job. I really want it just because I care about animals. That's something I've done my whole life. I've had horse my whole life. I actually have 3 wild Mustangs that I've trained and have been able to do stuff like that with. I've been around animals my whole life. I went to Norfolk IB High School, so I was able to experience a lot of animals there. We had every animal you can imagine. Rats, mice, dogs. We did grooming there. I took behavior classes. So I've been able to do a lot with animals. I've also been shadowing the Marshfield Animal Control Officer and have been riding along with them and going on calls with them. So I've already dealt with raccoons and dogs and cats and all kinds of sorts of different calls. I really enjoy it. It's something that I want to do. I would make myself available 24/7 because you never know what's going to happen. Definitely want to be there no matter what, whatever time. And Marshfield has also offered to train me and to assist me and shadow me and ride along with me while I'm working in Plympton. And I also am in the process of hopefully being hired there just as an assistant. So that would only be 2 days. And the cool thing about that is that it would allow me to, if I was to get a call for Plympton for an emergency, they would allow me to leave and take care of the call.
Okay.
She's actually on it right here if you guys have any questions for her.
She being,
Allie Ryan, Marshfield Animal Control Officer.
okay.
So what interests you about this job?
Everything. I love it. I love working with animals. I love working with people. I worked as a manager for Tractor Supply Company for the past 2 years. I'm really good in customer relations and talking to people. I love the whole thing. I just really want to work with animals. I really want to help animals. I want to be there to support them, and you never know what's going to happen. I mean, animals can be I don't know, anything could happen. They could be abused, they could be in need of care, and I want to be there to help them, absolutely.
So how long have you been shadowing?
The past month, I've been shadowing her, and I've been riding along with her almost every day, and we've dealt with almost every call. Marshfield's a pretty big town, so we've gotten loose dog calls, we've gotten hit dog calls, I've actually rescued raccoons out of an attic, all kinds of stuff. And they also have beaches, so we've had to deal with stuff on the beaches like seals and stuff like that.
So what was the toughest part of what you've seen so far?
The raccoons was definitely the scariest. It was the scariest. But it was honestly very rewarding in the end. It was really cool. One of them was actually stuck in between a wall, and I had to reach my hand down, and it was my first raccoon ever dealing with them, and grabbed them. We were able to bring them to the Wildlife Rehab Center, and they all survived and were released. So it was definitely very rewarding to see that all happen.
Have you been vaccinated for rabies?
Yes, I have.
Good. Yeah.
Hi.
This is awesome.
Yes, it's open.
Hello.
Hi there, how are you?
Hi, Dave.
Welcome.
Late.
No, come on
The
in.
town is extremely demanding. That's it.
Oh, you can sit there, that's fine.
Right, yeah, you can sit right next to him.
This job, as you well know, takes all sorts of hours. And you're from Hanson, right? Yeah.
My dad actually lives in Plympton, so I'm in Plympton a good amount of time too as well. So he lives right on Mayflower Road.
Oh, okay.
So I'm there a good amount of time too. But Hanson, where I live in Hanson, I can get here in 10 minutes.
You're here to support Griffin?
I'm completely supportive of Griffin here. He's done some fine work, just being an assistant and doing ride-alongs in my town. And like I had my police department called me out 6 times today alone, one emergency after another, and Griff's been along with me on several emergency calls and daily routine calls. He's done excellent. I cannot speak highly enough of him. He is very efficient. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's calm. He's great with the public. He's not afraid to jump into action, but with a very level head, and he's very in control of himself. I'm very, very impressed. So he's going to continue to be training with me and helping out in my town as well. And I hope I can offer my assistance in the town of Plymouth as well. So I'm very other town friendly. If he ever needs me, I can hop on over and do whatever I can and offer the use of my kennels, you know, if you ever need it.
Okay.
Which is something that you don't have right now.
Right.
It would have to be on a case-by-case basis, but I mean, I'm the supervisor for the animal control department, so it's my shelter to loan out as I see fit, and just help out in any way I can. So I'm the quarantine officer also, and I do the barn inspections for my town, so we can do that together.
Okay.
So if the use of the kennel were necessary, that'll be dealt with on a per-day basis, and, yeah.
Yep.
So besides you, is obviously a wonderful mentor, are there other training for animal control officers in
There
the
is,
state?
it's in Boylston, it's ACOM, it's the state police barracks, and he goes through a few, full training there. He'll be going through it for Marshfield, and it's in April. You have to do it within the year that you're hired to be animal control for your town. But he's already read half the book that he needs to read for that class, so I'm sure he'll pass with flying colors, no worries.
So what's involved with that? Is that like
You do,
a weekend, or?
You do basic police techniques, investigative techniques. They show them self-defense and hand-to-hand combat type thing, but also they do hands-on training with animals, barn animals, domestic animals, and they go over rabies protocol, how do you approach any type of situation that he might present it with on an animal control
And
job.
when is that again?
It's in April.
Oh, so that would be a year hence.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that like a weekend, or
It's every Friday for 16 weeks, I believe.
Oh, wow.
every Friday for
Yeah.
16
And then
weeks?
there's one weekend where we, somewhere in the Berkshires, there's some farm that they go to where they get a full day of hands-on training, I mean, getting back bulls and cattle and dealing with all sorts of barn life. So it's great. It's a wonderful program.
I assume-
But like I said, you learn about all the laws, the details of all the laws.
Yeah.
He'll have every reference material, every handout, and he will make associations with other towns and other officers that he can utilize if he ever needs their help or support. So it's there to help support animal control officers across Massachusetts.
Is this required to be an animal control officer, or is it?
It is required,
It
yes.
is by the state?
Yep, and there's regular training that we're supposed to go to, but again, I can sign Griff up, I can go to it with him. Once he goes to Animal Control Academy, they will put him on the mailing list for all the pertinent classes, because whenever the laws change,
Sure.
he's supposed to get up to date on what's going on, so. That way you're covered.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Legally and responsibly.
We don't have a leash law in Plympton, which I know can be challenging. So would you be able to work within those parameters?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think, obviously I can't change things right now, but I think that it would be nice to have a leash law just to protect dogs themselves. And I mean, anything can happen when you're not on a leash. You can get hit by a car, you can attack other animals. I think it's something that could definitely be worked into the town. I think it's a good idea, but it's something that I can work with the way it is now.
Okay,
Absolutely.
all right.
So it's a job sometimes, particularly on the quarantine issues and the bite issues, of kind of balancing the needs and the rights of people that are sometimes a little bit contentious or antagonistic. You're comfortable with part of your job being diffusing those kind of situations?
Yes, and like I said, I've been a manager for the past 2 years, so I've had to deal with a lot of angry customers, and I was that front line of defense for customers that came in that had complaints and stuff, and I've always been able to diffuse the problems. I've always been able to make both sides happy. That's something I've prided myself on. I'm able to please both sides of the party while getting the job done.
I'd like to add that my fiance worked with him where he was a manager, and while I was there, I actually saw him in action resolving issues left and right. Anything happened, they called Griff to come handle it. Like, he is mature beyond his years. Very impressive. So, but I've actually seen him handle it.
Are you going to school, Griffin,
Right
beyond?
now, I went to Massasoit. I did the first semester.
Okay.
I have been kind of looking back and forth. I originally wanted to be a vet. Not that I can't be a vet. I'd love to be a vet. Definitely would want to be a vet. But the 8 years of school is just a lot for me. And I think that a job like this, I really would like it because it would put me on that defense line where I could be saving animals still, but don't necessarily have to do the 8 years of school too. And I can bring them off to a vet if needed. So it's definitely something that I would be happy to do.
Okay.
Good.
When you get when you pick up a dog that is lost, what's the protocol? You take it to a shelter?
Well, if you have a vehicle, he'll be using his truck or whatever vehicle he has available, but I drive around with it, you know, we post it on social media.
Okay,
Yeah, he knows what to do. He's already done that in Marshfield and demonstrated he's very capable. Post it on social media for the town, get the word out there. It's required in our bylaws, I'm not sure if it is in yours, to post it.
I don't know.
And then let them know where the dog is, or you keep it with you, or he could bring it back to the Marshfield kennels and hold on to it until the owner calls.
So what is it, like 2 weeks generally, you'd keep the dog, and if you don't hear from the owner, then it would be up for adoption?
Yeah, 10 days.
10 days,
Yeah.
okay.
That's something else
Actually,
too
7, yeah.
that I'm working on. I'm working on getting basically a 2 kennel shed at my house. It'd just be like a dog run if needed, so that I'd be able to bring animals to my house if I had to.
And that would be Mayflower Road?
That would be Hanson.
Hanson.
But
Okay.
on Mayflower Road too as well, they do have kennels. We have barns there, we have kennels that we could definitely work with, absolutely.
Okay. So when you found a lost dog, somebody came in and adopted it, would they then pay all of the fees that were associated with the dog? So there's no expense to the town?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. He'll get all the paperwork from the state on how to do that as well. So
Okay.
you don't even have to have it in your town, he'll get everything from the state on how to charge and fine and hold on to animals. Plus, he could work with local area kennels, and if he establishes a relationship, and just private kennels have offered assistance to myself, and I'm sure they would him as well. They'll hold on to dogs temporarily while he looks for the owner. So
Okay.
just keep the dog close by.
I have
Okay.
close contact with the MSPCA too as well. The lady that actually is like the head for the MSPCA, I know her really well, so that would be something that I could look into as well if needed, because I know it's a huge organization that would be happy to fund something like that.
sure.
One of the things we're doing is we're looking at structuring the position and how the pay is put together. We don't have that completely thought out tonight, but we expect to have it in June 4th as our next Monday night meeting. So before then, we'd invite you back and let you know how we're going to approach it. Make sure that you're comfortable with that.
Absolutely.
And you're comfortable with applying for both positions, the animal control officer and the inspector of animals?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
Any other questions? Liz, you got any?
Good.
No, I already had the
Okay.
pleasure of interviewing him once before.
Okay. Well,
Great.
thank you for coming in. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Yeah,
you
this has
taking the
been
time.
nice.
And thank you.
Meeting you, thank you for
Impressive.
coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
thank you.
Nice to meet you.
I have to
Russo.
say,
Nice to see you.
my town is extremely busy. I've lost 3 assistants in 2 years.
So it's also
And Griff has hung in there longer than any one of the assistants my town has hired. So I've got to try him out on the job to get a winner here, for sure.
Well, thank you.
So trust me,
Good.
I'm desperate from capable help as well. And I'm happy to share.
Absolutely.
Perfect,
very much.
thank you, good to
Good
meet
luck.
you, thank you,
Meet you.
thank you. All right, you want to go get
Is
Vicki?
Vicki here?
Did you make that motion?
Who made the motion to go back to open? I guess I did.
You did.
Yeah. And who's second?
I did. And then we did a roll call vote.
That second, I'm gonna have a JT quick up.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Hi, Vicki.
Hi, Vicki.
Hey. Yeah,
You can sit wherever you want, just, yeah.
We just didn't sign it.
I don't have them at all, no.
Welcome.
Hello.
So we're looking for an animal control officer and animal inspection. Yep. And we've got your resume. Maybe you can talk a little bit, Vicki, about, you know, what you see the job being and why you're interested in it.
Well, since my entire life has been wrapped up in animals, and I have actually applied previously, not for this particular position, but other animal control and animal inspector positions, and got close, but never actually got the position. Obviously, my resume explains that I've been doing work my entire life that makes me a good candidate for this position, a lot of background. I am usually disappointed in humans, the way they deal with animals. So, yes, I like being the one that helps out the animal, and I feel that I'm very diplomatic and can usually get the human to see the animal's point of view at some point when necessary.
We've had, I think, from my perspective at least, one of the problems we've had is getting a person there on time, to be available.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the big things, at least I'm looking for, is that when these things happen, whether it's a dog bite or whatever, that the person's available to
You
come.
need someone there
Yeah,
timely
right.
to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, you're also working at the Kingston
Yes, I
Veterinary.
work at the Kingston Animal Hospital on
Yep.
Mondays.
Yep.
And I work another job part-time also.
Okay,
My hours are fairly flexible.
okay,
And I am able to leave if I need to, if a situation arises. Plus, I see this position as being perfect. I will be retiring shortly, and this position would be perfect for me once I'm retired also.
yeah.
So it'll be, it's a nice transition.
One of the things at least I'm thinking of is, the kennel situation, in that we don't have one. Right.
And I wasn't sure how you handled that.
No, I'm not sure
I don't
either.
know, I'm
I
honestly.
don't know what your plan is, what do you do when there's a stray dog, or how is it handled now? I don't know. I haven't talked to Frank Bush, so I don't know
And it's
what the process was.
and it's changed over time. There was a time that the previous animal inspector was keeping animals in his garage, and I think there have been times that we've sort of contracted with other towns who have a kennel, and we'd have to work this through.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to work on that project to
Yeah.
get some sort of situation set up.
I think there's been something with Duxbury, Mark.
The what?
It's with Duxbury. Some of the animals have been brought to
Yeah,
Duxbury.
I mean, lots of the surrounding towns have excess capacity, and,
Right.
I'm sure they'd be willing to help, and it'd be
Yeah, it might be a matter of if if there's a pet that needs to be held overnight or whatever, that I could call, that there'd be a network of towns that are agreeable, and I could call Kingston or whatever other town and say, do you have a cage available? I have this particular animal.
One of the things,
Livestock I could probably temporarily put up.
one of the things I just found out is that you have to be certified by the state, and that it's a every Friday class for 16 weeks.
Okay,
So I didn't know that.
all right.
Plus a weekend, I guess, where you go off and the hands-on training.
Mm. No,
so-
that makes sense.
Yeah,
There's a lot of state regulations. I'm assuming the state
yes.
supplies this.
That's what we've been told, that it's has to be done, which is good. I mean,
It is
we
good.
want
Yeah, no,
people
that
certified.
Right.
Yeah.
makes perfect sense,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is probably, at this point, with the change that is being made and an evolving position, and we'd want someone, I think, that helped us kind of modernize what we're doing. And you mentioned that in terms of checking with other towns. Are you comfortable with a position that maybe would be a little bit evolving as we put together protocol and procedures?
Oh, yes, oh, yeah. Since what you have now doesn't seem to be adequate for keeping up with the state.
Yeah, we're really looking for the person who does it to come in and tell us how it should be done correctly. As we've got a lot of things going on, and this is just one more, and we need some expertise.
But yet it's an important job, and.
It is.
And,
It is.
you know, the clock starts ticking as soon as someone is bid or scratched, and it's so
Dog gets
important,
bit or-
exactly,
Yep.
to be timely and thorough, and get your reports back to the Board of Health in a timely manner, so that everybody knows what's happening, and there's definitely room for improvement with that.
Yeah, no, I do have, experience working with this animal hospital, and actually, way back when I was young, the Danvers Animal Hospital, where I started as a veterinary assistant, he was also the dog officer for the town of Danvers, so we did all the dog officer work, kenneled the dogs there at the animal hospital, did the quarantines. So I did have experience with that, although it was, I'm sure, the laws have changed completely in 40 years, but.
But I think it would probably be similar.
So I see on your resume, key competencies include conflict resolution.
Yes.
This is certainly a position where opportunity to practice those skills come up.
Yes.
You're
Yes,
comfortable?
because it's equal dealing with the animals and dealing with the people. It's not just animal skills.
Yeah,
It's
that's what
probably
we've had.
easier working with the animals, if truth be told.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, so the animals are easy. It's those two-legged animals that'll drive you crazy.
Right.
absolutely.
We have certainly had our share of issues there where the person says, you can't come onto my property. We don't know, really, we don't even know who the dog is at times.
Right.
Is that the owner's dog, or is it
Right,
the dog
or-
down the street?
Right, and the dog's, it's on the town line, so who is responsible? Yeah, it's,
So detective work involved.
yeah, it,
Yeah, it really is.
So any part of the job that concerns you?
Well, you have no van, so any animals would be transported in my vehicle. Luckily, I have a truck and a crate will fit in it.
You're comfortable with
And
that?
I'm comfortable with that.
If that's the way this was set up?
Is there equipment? Gloves, rabies pole? Does the dog officer have anything available for handling animals?
That's a good question.
I don't know what they currently have on hand, but there is a small expense budget associated with the position, so naturally, we would make sure that whoever was getting started had the appropriate equipment necessary.
Okay. Now, I also know it's 24-hour coverage. If I happen to be away, everybody needs to. I go to Wilmington to visit my grandchildren,
Sure.
things like that, so a call might come in when I'm not home. We don't travel much at all, and we certainly don't vacation much, but, expecting me to never leave the area.
Yeah, that's some of the things we've got to figure out as we structure this, as maybe having a backup.
That's asking a lot of
Yeah.
a person,
Yeah.
and I'm not even sure what the salary is.
it's not much.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if,
We're-
compensate for.
We're
all
currently
this
just in the
extra.
process right now, I think, of kind of working through how the position appears currently, and then figuring out what we might be able to do with it to kind of build in some of that backup. That was one of the items that we were discussing just a little bit earlier this evening. So I think that we should stay tuned on that. We had assumed that probably around the time roughly of our June 4th meeting, that by that time frame we will have kind of mapped out the position and where we see it going.
Okay.
And we could definitely let you know prior to
Sure.
then what sort of the final, how it might end up looking, to make sure that you were still comfortable as far as being considered an applicant for the position. But obviously, there would need to be some provision in place for backup. It wouldn't be anybody's
Yes.
intention that, oh, you can never leave town again.
Yeah.
So we would work that out.
In the past, he would send a memo out, and it would just, I'm out of town, and he'd contacted another town, like Halifax has done the backup before, for the
Right.
day or
I
weekend or
think we
whatever
were
it is.
thinking something even potentially a little bit more concrete, but yeah, we would figure that out.
Part of this is also, crawling around, I assume, in bonds and things,
What I do all the time.
all the time. So this is old hat.
Yeah, no, I mean,
All right, good.
I have experience with just about every creature there is, so I don't have any, I'd be happy, of course, to have additional training, but yeah, I have both large and small animal and exotic background,
Yep.
so.
So you're not afraid at all, right?
I think it's potentially one of the challenges, but also potentially one of the upsides of this position is it is clearly evolving, and I think we're looking for a partner to
Yeah,
help us
that would
make
be-
it
That would be great
evolve.
to really
Um,
be able to work with everybody and get
So-
a workable plan in place that,
And certainly, the more the successful candidate can take that on, so we can be dealing with all the other wonderful things we get to deal with,
Right.
would really be helpful.
Vicki, would it put you in an awkward position if you were doing barn inspections and this is all in Plympton, you identified a pretty serious issue in somebody's barn or kennel, and where you live in Plympton and they live in Plympton, do you think that would be a problem for you?
it's not a problem for me unless it becomes a problem. I mean, like I say, I'm pretty diplomatic, and however, the animal's condition would be foremost. So I would definitely follow through to make sure that the animals were safe and cared for. The fact that I live in town should not affect my decisions with whomever might be causing the problem.
Okay.
And you can always call in reinforcements if someone is
Yeah.
being totally
Yeah.
unreasonable about things,
Absolutely.
as long as everything's documented. Document.
There you go.
Good.
Good.
You have any questions of us?
No, I think I brought forth
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
questions already.
So we're going to work on this over the next 2 weeks before our June 4th Monday meeting.
Okay,
And then we expect to have some answers as how it would be structured, how the financial incentives would be put in place, et cetera. And
okay.
we're certainly going to be back to you.
Wonderful.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. It's always
See you, Vicki.
enjoyable to have an interview.
Oh, thank you.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Vicki. Thank you.
Good to see you. I'll see you
Did you get my email about the parade? I sent you an email about the flowers for the gazebo. I did.
Okay. I'll look at it again.
All right, because I wasn't
So
sure
we'll hold
that
those.
at the meeting I couldn't.
So I think we're at the end for rants and raves.
Okay.
Or minutes, or do they come
I know I have
first
to
or
give
after
two
rants and
gifts.
raves?
No, they come first, but I don't think we have them, right?
We have the executive session
Oh,
minutes
I'm
that
sorry.
Mark did.
Yes, I looked at those. I'm fine with them.
I am too.
And then I bring
All right,
them up.
so I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of the executive session minutes of March 14th as written. No,
Second.
actually as amended.
Yeah, I fixed something. I
Okay,
found
as
it.
amended.
Second.
Gazebo
All right.
and the monument.
Roll call vote, Mr. Russo?
Aye.
Aye.
Good. Aye.
All right, so then we just have the 4:30.
And those are still in process, is that it?
Right, she'll have to have those for us on June 4th.
That was never even.
With tonight's meetings or minutes.
Yeah, it was.
And then we actually,
If there was extra.
So I
No,
already
that's it.
had,
That's-
this
we're
morning
current.
they would send
Perfect.
delivered to you.
Okay,
The 2 yards to the.
can I start with the rants and raves?
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
let's do
Can you
it.
tell me, because it's to the left of the.
So I have a rave. The young lady sitting to my right.
Let me know. And if you
And it's
need,
not there
I
all
thought you
night,
did a
or-
terrific job
I
as
need to know.
chairperson.
Okay.
Oh,
This
thanks,
past year.
John, they were so nice.
No.
I thought you meant that young lady.
No, no. I'm going to work my way down.
Nice to see you again.
Good night, Dave. See you at the
Dave.
parade.
I don't know, she hasn't sent me a picture.
No, I thought with all the things we've had on our plate, that you brought a level of professionalism that was really helpful, because I think that's what we're in place to do. So thank you.
Well, thank
Been
you.
great.
That was nice of you to say, but honestly, it's a team effort. And I think we've got a really good board, and we work well together, and we're just getting things done
We are.
that need to be done. And you know, we don't always agree on everything, and that's to be expected, but I think we see the big picture, and we keep on trucking. So,
I'm with you.
yep. All
So-
right, I'll do my rave next, and mine was, I think Brian Wick did a really nice job at town
did, yeah.
meeting, and how it was really nice to have Lauren Goldberg there. I think she really was an
She has a
asset
very nice way about her.
to the process, and very helpful with Brian learning, and I know Tara was just thrilled to have Lauren there, so really great job. I did have one comment that I received about the warrant, and they said that the spreadsheets are too
Oh, it
small.
was great,
Too
yeah.
difficult to read.
Absolutely.
So that maybe next year,
Yeah.
just make them bigger.
Right.
Yeah. But I thought it went smooth as silk. It was beautiful.
I'm just amazed. The last 2 years that Brian's been there, these things just fly through. I'm feeling
9:40.
vulnerable. What?
And so I have 3 or 4, and I'll save some for next time, but I would just echo what you said about Christine. I really enjoy kind of being mindful of how leaders go about doing their thing, and your quiet, strong leadership is a model for any of us to follow. I think I've sat next to you now for 2 years, and I'm thrilled. No offense to our new chair, but I'm thrilled that you guys didn't switch seats, because I love sitting next to you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And,
Very kind.
and then also something about town meeting. What's that? Did I miss something? A couple of people came up to me and many people commented about town meeting, but a couple came up and commented on the last 2 town meetings running so efficiently, and that some of that came from what the Board of Selectmen and all the other boards in town, that meetings run that way with a year of preparation and proper preparation ahead of time. And I think we really did ourselves proud in making a lot of decisions, but making them relatively easy because of all the preparation ahead
I
of
think
time.
that's correct. When I was moderator and looked out, at times I was a little surprised how the boards hadn't sort of got together and ironed out certain things. And I think that's one of the things that is really making those meetings run well. And the people have confidence in it, because you see these unanimous votes that say, hey, we think this is good.
And I think that was the thing that was said frequently. Well, if Board of Selectmen was unanimous and FinCom was unanimous on the same thing, and we have faith in you guys, and it changes everything. So
It
it's
does,
really
yeah.
beautiful. And just maybe because it was topical, one more thing. The Garden Club did a wonderful job last
so
Saturday
nice.
in resurrecting the plant sale, which is one of those kind of unique, special, long-time Plympton traditions, and hopefully in that being revived, that'll be a continuing thing. One more level of volunteerism and
Yep.
nice leadership.
It was. They had a beautiful selection of plants, and
Yeah.
the line on the green
Yeah.
of cars. It
Yeah,
was.
nice.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it looked like the old days.
Yeah, very nicely attended.
Okay, there being nothing else, I'll make a motion that, yeah. Did we vote this?
We did.
It's already been voted.
Okay, just sign it.
Oh, but
Okay.
this says until 2019.
Yeah, that was what the chief had
All right.
requested.
So I'll make a second motion. I'll make a motion that we appoint, actually, why don't I rescind my
Just-
first motion?
Okay, a second?
All right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we appoint Matthew All, full-time police officer until June 30th of 2019.
I'll second that.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
perfect.
Okay, so
Motion
I'll make
to
a
adjourn?
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
See
All
you
those in
all
favor?
at Memorial Day.
Yeah. Come early.
Come early, yes.
Raven,